Good evening, everyone. My name is Mundi Nelson and I've been working on the Dwell project, and I work with the wonderful organisation Red Ink in Lismore, and I'd just like to welcome you all here this evening. And I would just like to say an acknowledgement from the Bundjalung Arakwal people from this country. This gathering, Dwell a Triple Bill, acknowledges the Bundjalung of Byron Bay, Arakwal people, as the Aboriginal traditional custodians of Byron Bay and surrounding areas. The Bundjalung of Byron Bay, Arakwal people, are the recognised Aboriginal traditional custodians of the Byron Bay area and retain a strong connection in caring for, protection of and management of Aboriginal cultural values and country. Firstly, I'd like to acknowledge the support of the New South Wales Government through Arts New South Wales and Ageing, Disability and Home Care to help make this project possible. I would also like to acknowledge the three collaborators in this cross art form project. They are Red Ink Lismore, Sprung Integrated Dance Theatre of Alstonville, and Philip Channels, Creative Director of Dance Integrated Australia, based in Adelaide. I would also like to acknowledge the generosity and dedication of Sue Whiteman and the Alstonville Dance Studio. Also, Philip Blackman, who is a Lismore-based choreographer and performing arts mentor, and he's the dance program facilitator at Red Ink. Just a little bit about the process of this collaborative project. The choreographers made a selection of artists from Red Ink, and they're the three artists that you see before you: Mbatha Muta, Nathan Gooley and Christopher Wilkinson. So the choreographers looked through a whole lot of Red Ink artists' works and chose these three fine artists, and then they choreographed their work in response to these artworks. So they interpreted the artworks for the new dance performance that hopefully you will see later on this evening. I have an apology from Marie Gale, who is the CEO of Red Ink. Unfortunately, Marie wasn't able to make it tonight, but I have a few words that she has written down about this project. Red Ink sees participation in the arts as a powerful way to enhance social inclusion and to create opportunities for people with disabilities. We are excited about the collaboration with Sprung, professional artists, dancers and musicians on this project. Collaborative events such as this strengthen connections within communities and contribute to social change. The Red Ink Art Program endeavours to provide our service users, people with disabilities, an opportunity to develop their artistic skills and aspirations. It also aims to provide professional opportunities for its service users to exhibit and promote their artwork. What you see before you definitely demonstrates that this has happened. It also shows that people with disabilities can and do make significant contributions to art and culture in our society. I would like to congratulate the artists on their enthusiasm and their commitment to their art practice. I would also like to thank the curator of this exhibition, Kerry DeVette, who's with us. As dedicated to the artist's art practice as the artist is themselves. And Kerry has been facilitating the Red Ink Art Program for 17 years. And she is an absolute wealth, a fountain of knowledge about working with people with disability in arts. And it's going to be really tragic. She is finally saying goodbye to Red Ink. So she will be very, very missed among a lot of people. I would also like to thank Accessible Arts for their support and promotion of this project. Now, we have a special guest here this evening. I would like to introduce Renee Bolton, who is the winner of this year's Northern Rivers Portrait Prize. And Renee has been working with Red Ink artists as a guest professional artist for a period of 6 months. You're going to do that work, Renee? Yeah. 6 months. So the artists are very lucky to have Renee on board. And Renee has also taught 2 disability art courses at TAFE.
Artworks that are made by the 3 artists here on display, as a result, has been made into a performance that goes beyond but certainly inspired by the artwork. And I think that is a very exciting element of in different parts of around the area, things like that are more and more happening. That's crossbreeding. To feel strength in crossbreeding, to feel strength in buying inspired by what other people do in other disciplines. And I find it quite intriguing. Because as it is, being an artist, especially when you are a painter or a visual artist in your studio, maybe day and night, maybe 20 minutes a day, but it can be quite lonely business. And for that you need incentives, you need inspiration beyond what you think you can do and beyond what you're actually making. You have to find a reason why you're doing this. And to have a look how the Red Ink people would approach their work. It's sort of, it doesn't matter. You get what I can do. It's quite soothing and relaxing. And that's what I think is also what reflects in that work. It can be a beautiful, peaceful feeling to it, because it's not pushed, it's not sort of pressed. It is just taken as it is and be responded on canvas or paper. And I think that's a very refreshing approach that hopefully you can be aware of when you have a look at it too. There were probably more things that I wanted to say, but I can't remember. Oh, yeah, no. Like Nathan is a student of mine at the moment at the TAFE. Friday mornings, we come together for 3 hours, which is actually too short, but still it's a wonderful way of being together there for the reason to make art. And silly things happen. We might kick a ball, or we might do some dancing, or Nathan might have a lie down, which I find absolutely delightful. And Nathan was walking around with his mug. No, I didn't want to bring it back, so I took the mug, and now I'll be walking around with the mug all evening, which I otherwise would not have done. Huh? And I'm aware of that I'm holding this mug for Nathan. And that's a good feeling. Yeah, it's a special feeling. And that's all part of this bouncing of all sorts of creative talents, creative energies. Things happen. And especially when you cross over from different disciplines, things happen on its own accord. And so without actually having to plan and set what should happen, because that only creates disappointment. Yeah? When you set yourself in your studio, that's one of the strongest things that bounces up against your head, that you expect certain things to happen, and it just doesn't happen. And to be able to work with other people, even in other disciplines, you accept that whatever happens is what it is. It is working with the process. And when you work in the process, you can let go of the result, because the result comes out of the process. You are involved with the process, but the process gives you the result. And I think that's a sort of a freedom to it that is very much visible when I work with the Red Ink people. Yeah, yeah, so. Open. I declare it open. I declare it open.